How are you doing, guys? ZDEyE here. So today I wanted to talk also about Mafia. If you guys did not know, there is something stirring about regarding Mafia, mind you, not Mafia, just in general. I should mention the next Mafia, so Mafia 4. Now there's also an opportunity, or I should say chance, that Mafia 2 could get some kind of its remastered or even maybe remake. There's an article that specifically mentioned it exactly. It's very short. I'll read it through. I'll state my opinion as well right after. We haven't heard anything whatsoever from the Mafia franchise ever since its third entry came and went a few years back on the PlayStation 4. Mafia 3 was a decent game, but it looks like the developer Hangar 13 might be getting another attempt with the fourth game in the franchise if a series of recently registered trademarks are to be taken seriously. As spotted by the website segment Next, that's the name, two trademarks have been filled with the simple name of Mafia. Could this be a rebooted to the franchise? A name like that would certainly suggest so. But the trademarks are actually accompanied by a turd for a Mafia 2. The PlayStation 3 game originally released in the 2010, receiving a much better critical reception than its follow-up, the Mafia 3. Leading us to believe that this could signal a potential remaster of the title. If the two projects do indeed exist, it's debatable whether the studio would hold off on these announcements if there's any possibility of the PlayStation 5 version of the game. Also, I wanted to touch on this. There is a chance, of course, we have to consider this, but there's also a chance that it may never even happen. Since after the Mafia 3, it wasn't taken very seriously, the sales, it was a disappointment in some regard. But personally, for me, I actually really liked the game. To be honest with you, I like the way the character, as you control him, and you basically had all the opportunity of basically, with the shooting and the mechanics on that, the way you run, it looked good and it felt good. And I personally think that was really good. Now, there are some bad about the game as well. I'm not gonna deny the fact. For example, extremely repetitive missions, some extremely repetitive side missions, if not all of them. And now, that was very disappointing. You had to kill 36 was it main bosses or whatnot? You know what I mean, the higher ups anyway, to get spill the beans, basically spilling the information on so you can actually infiltrate and find out more on the black market or whatever, right? It's Mafia, would expect. Well, Mafia 3 I should mention. Mafia 2, I personally think that it did better. It actually felt like you were a part of Mafia. In here, it's just more of an unfortunate moment that has happened, that kind of a whole thing went down to the sideway and never was really anticipated. You don't really get to choose of your own, for example, Mafia, you don't get to choose your own gang members or anything like that. For example, you don't have an ability as such. It loses so much of credibility that Mafia 2 had, and since after the Mafia 3 released. People did not like it, unfortunately. Driving, I should mention this. Driving, oh god, that was very bad. I don't know if you think that Mafia 3 had good driving. Something's wrong with you. Mafia 3 driving was pretty horrible, and especially the screeching noises that when I drive, I'll still remember till this day. It's been a while since I played Mafia 3. Until this day, I still remember the screeching noises whenever you try to speed up or accelerate on your vehicle. Pretty much on all of them. It felt like I felt like I'm gonna bloody scratch my eyes off, and my ears was my drums are about to explode inside my ears. It was awful. I hated that screeching noise. I had to mute the damn sound on that part anyway. It was awful. And yeah, and the driving itself did not feel that good either. I understand this is an old time, blah blah blah, time when Vietnam and that old stuff. The vehicles were not as good as now they are. Whatever, that's bullshit. I think they could have done a lot better job, so not less screeching noises on the vehicles on front, and also could have had a damn better story as well. I like the way the main protagonist, I like him a lot. I love the way he looks. I like the way he carries himself. He definitely comes from a military background, since he had so much experience in war, and yet he comes in and he brings it back home, so to say, right? I love that. It was awesome, and it felt good. It felt responsive. You could actually control your character, and it was damn awesome. It felt great, and I wanted to keep on playing more. That's how I ended up finishing the game and playing it through. In some ways, I tried to even go for a platinum trophy, but then, oh god, those repetitive stuff. Oh, that was a pain in the ass. So I just wish these problems do not come back into Mafia 4. In fact, you know what? I would not mind to see Mafia 2 as a remastered version, or maybe a remake of it as well. Now, of course, there are some debatable things as well, right? Publishers as such. Yeah, that's a big question in everybody's mind at the moment. Oh man, oh man. Alright, well, I think that's all I got for today. Tell me down in the comments, what do you think? Would you like to see Mafia 4? Would you rather not? Would you like to go for Mafia 2 instead, a remake or maybe remastered version of it? I'd love to read them, of course. Anyway, well, I'm going to let you go now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe as always. And yeah, have a good one.